There was a time in my life when I genuinely didn't know how I was going to get through to the next day. A few years ago, it felt like I'd lost everything. I had recently escaped a toxic relationship. My health had suffered. I lost my mum to Alzheimer's. I lost two amazing dogs who had been part of my life for many years. Eventually, I lost my home, and somewhere along the way, I felt like I'd lost my identity too. At 55 years old, I found myself trying to start all over again. Some days just felt hopeless. Looking back now, I can honestly say I don't think I would have gotten through those years in the same way without this dog. This wonderful dog is called Saffy. I've had dogs in my life since I was 9 years old, and I've loved every single one of them. But after losing my previous dogs and finding myself living alone, I wasn't sure I could take on the responsibility of another. I was working full time, I didn't have close family nearby, I knew doggy daycare would be expensive. Logically, it just didn't make sense. But sometimes life isn't about logic. For months I found myself looking at adverts for golden retriever puppies. I would browse through them, close the page and tell myself it just wasn't the right time. Then one morning, I saw an advert that simply said, "Golden Retriever puppies, now ready." Something about it felt different. Instead of talking myself out of it again, I picked up the phone. A few hours later, I was sitting on the floor of the breeder's home surrounded by 11 Golden Retriever puppies. I was in heaven. As soon as they were out of the enclosure, 10 of them ran off together, chasing each other and playing. But one didn't. One puppy ignored all of her litter mates and came straight towards me. She climbed onto my lap as if she had already made her decision. That puppy would become Saffy. There was never really a choice to make. She had chosen me. Later, when I got home, I discovered something that stopped me in my tracks. Saffy had been born on the 6th of April. The exact same day I had moved into my new home and started the new chapter of my life. Maybe it was coincidence, maybe it wasn't. But at that time, it felt like a sign that we were meant to find each other. What I didn't realise at the time was just how important she would become. Because over the years that followed, Saffy would help me through some of the hardest chapters in my life. Everything was still very raw when Saffy came into my life. I spent my days working and my evenings living in the past, replaying all conversations, questioning all decisions, and wondering how my life had ended up looking so different from the one I had imagined. I was afraid of the future and caught between endless what-ifs. I had started my healing journey, but if I'm honest, it wasn't going very well. I was at rock bottom, struggling to come to terms with everything life had thrown at me. My confidence had gone, and my self-worth wasn't much better. Then Saffy arrived. Almost overnight, the house just felt different. I found myself laughing every single day. I couldn't stop smiling as I watched her clumsy antics and her endless curiosity about the world around her. There was a time when she actually decided she wanted to be a cat and somehow managed to climb onto Hetty's cat tree, where she proudly lay looking completely pleased with herself. Her first attempt at climbing the stairs, what a disaster. Far less graceful than she imagined it would be. And then the puppy training. Most dogs are motivated by treats. Not Saffy. If she decided she'd had enough, she simply turned around and walked away, as if to say, "I'm bored, I'm done." And the socks. I have just got no idea what happened to most of them. Somewhere out there, there's a secret collection of missing socks that only Saffy knows about. Bit by bit, without me even realising it, she started bringing light back into my life. At the time, I really thought I was teaching Saffy how to navigate the world. But when I look back, I think she was teaching me on how to live again. Once we started going out for walks, it quickly became obvious that Saffy just loved attention. Now you might be thinking, well, everyone loves puppies. But what really surprised me was that nothing changed as she got older. There was always something about Saffy that people were drawn to. One gentleman stopped and gave her plenty of fuss and said she was the happiest dog in Northumberland. And to be honest, I totally agreed with him. Saffy has always had her own way of doing things. One of her more unusual habits is that she must carry 2 balls in her mouth at the same time. If you only throw 1 ball, she'll just look at you as if you've completely misunderstood the game, and she refuses to retrieve it. You have to throw both, one after the other. Most dogs remember who carries the treats in their pockets. Saffy remembers who gives her the most fuss. She just has this incredible ability to make people smile. The amazing thing is that she didn't just bring joy into my life, she seemed to bring it into the lives of everyone she met. And somewhere along the way, something unexpected happened. The more I walked with Saffy, the more my confidence started to return. People would stop and talk to us. Conversations started naturally. Faces became familiar. Slowly, I went from feeling alone and unseen to making new friends and feeling connected again. Without realising it, I spent less time dwelling on the past and worrying about the future. Instead, I found myself becoming more present. After all, when you're walking beside a dog who finds pure joy in every stick, every puddle and every new smell, it's hard not to live in the moment. The past was gone. The future no longer felt quite so frightening. And somehow, life just started to feel much brighter. When Saffy was younger, she had 2 white markings on either side of her body, just behind her shoulders. I used to joke to myself that they were the places where her wings had been clipped before she came to me, and I always called her my angel. Looking back now, perhaps there was more truth in that joke than I actually realised at the time. Saffy is 3 years old now, and in many ways, the last 3 years have completely changed how I see life. She taught me how much lighter life feels when you stop living in the past and worrying about the future. She taught me that some of the happiest moments can be the simplest ones. A walk on a sunny morning, sitting on the beach watching the sea, a quiet moment just sitting together at the end of the day. The things that bring us the most joy are often the things that cost nothing at all. Over time, I began to realise that many of the things I had spent years chasing weren't actually what made me happy. The promotions, the titles, the idea of security, they all had their place at the time, but none of them brought me the peace I was looking for. But perhaps the biggest lesson Saffy taught me was this: life is precious. Dog's life is heartbreakingly short compared to ours, yet they seem to understand something that many of us forget. They don't waste time dwelling on yesterday. They don't spend their lives worrying about tomorrow. They throw themselves wholeheartedly into today. Every walk, every adventure, every cuddle, every moment. And somewhere along the way, I realised I wanted to live more like that too. That realisation changed more than my outlook on life. It gave me the courage to make the biggest decision I'd ever made. After spending decades building a career, I chose to walk away and start Soothesoul. Was it risky? Absolutely. There are no guarantees in life. But then Saffy had already taught me something I couldn't ignore. None of us know how much time we have. Life isn't meant to be watched from the sidelines. It's meant to be lived. And I would rather look back and say I tried, rather than spend the rest of my life wondering what if. Recently our journey took an unexpected turn. For a while I knew something wasn't quite right. Saffy wasn't moving as freely as she once had. There were little signs that most people probably wouldn't notice. But when you know someone as well as I know Saffy, you notice the small changes. After investigations and x-rays, we finally got some answers. Saffy has hip dysplasia, and she also has areas in her spine that never fully fused as she grew. Hearing those words was difficult. Like many dog owners, part of me wanted the tests to show nothing at all. I wanted someone to tell me she was fine, that she would be back to her usual self tomorrow. But life doesn't always work that way. Over the past few weeks, there's been moments that have broken my heart. Watching her struggle with things that once came so naturally. Seeing her uncomfortable, wondering whether she'd been in pain since her being a puppy. Wanting to take that pain away and knowing I can't simply fix it. But through all of this, something else has become very clear to me. For years, Saffy has been there for me when I felt lost, when I felt alone, when I needed a reason to get out the house, when I needed a reason to smile. She never asked for anything in return. She simply showed up every day with the same enthusiasm, loyalty and unconditional love. Now the roles have changed. Now it's my turn. My turn to slow down when she needs to slow down. My turn to be patient. My turn to support her through the difficult days. My turn to give back some of the love she has given me so freely over the last 3 years. Of course, I wish things were different. I wish she didn't have to face these challenges at such a young age. But if there's one thing Saffy has taught me, it's that happiness isn't found in perfect circumstances. It's found in making the most of the moments we have. So that's exactly what we're going to do. We'll keep taking our walks. We'll keep chasing balls, probably 2 at a time. We'll keep finding joy in the simple things, and we'll keep making memories together. Because if there's one thing that this incredible dog has taught me, it's that life isn't measured by how long something lasts. It's measured by the love, joy, and meaning we create along the way. I don't know what the future holds for either of us, but I do know this. Some of the most important lessons I've learned about love, resilience, healing, and living in the present came from a golden retriever called Saffy. My friend, my teacher, my angel. And for that, I will be grateful for the rest of my life. Thank you for watching.